Greetings from the islands of the Philippines. My name is Riza, co-founder and queen mermaid of EarthingPH. Since the lockdown of last year, our small environmental organization, which is based in Iloilo, wasn't able to organize our yearly summer camp in Guimaras Island. But instead, we started our very own webinar series, which is GoFISH, or Finding Interesting and Sustainable Hobbies. Our first webinar series is about household composting and microgreens with Luntiang Republica Eco Farm. The second one is sustainable tourism with Philippine Reef and Rainforest Conservation Foundation Incorporated, with zero waste travel with yours truly. The third one is kombucha making with Marimis Kombucha, and eco enzyme with the Green Mama, which is a social enterprise based in Singapore. Our next one after kombucha is mountaineering and leave no trace principle with Mountaineering Federation of the Philippines Incorporated, or MFPI. Next was bikepacking and long distance cycling with Karen Mercado, where she discussed her experience bikepacking in the Himalayas of India. And our last one is on snappers and corals and starfish with Mark De La Paz and Kim Casipe. After our webinar series, GoFISH, we started our very own pot session where we recycle discarded plastic bottles into a trendy and reusable pots. And because of this recycling initiative of EarthingPH, we got featured in the local and national news, and we got even invited to join some events around the city. And for our last event in year 2020, we collaborated with Likha Initiative, a Manila-based organization, for our Happy Earth Hour. This is a nature and poetry for a cause for COVID-affected families in Manila. It was a night full of poetry, awe, inspiration, laughter, and shared commitment to protect and love Mother Nature.
Hello, I'm Andrea from Football.
And I'm Jovi from Tukuy.
So we've heard about pot session a few months ago, I think around July. And then at that time, I was organizing an event at Festive Mall. So it was a Grow to Goodness event. That's why I invited EarthingPH to do the pot session, because it was in line with the advocacy that we were trying to push for Grow to Goodness. And then eventually, I met Kokoyo.
Yeah. Yes, we met, and then actually it was not really like we're strangers before. And then when we met, he told me about EarthingPH, about the advocacy they have, and it's in line with Kokoyo, which is an advocacy of slow living movement and waste. We want to be a good impact to the environment. So we collaborated with EarthingPH with the
events that I organized on the Root Ball. And I think we've already done with Root Ball, I've done 4 pot sessions with EarthingPH. Yes, the first one I did was in Festive Mall, and then we took her to Mercado in Iloilo Convention Center. And then twice with Kokoyo.
Yeah. And then we provided with, first they had plastic for their pot session. They used plastic as a pot. And then when I joined them, I provided a discarded coconut shell for them for their pot session. And that's where we started for collaborating with EarthingPH. So it is in line with our advocacy, and there are so many people that were joining in that event. There are kids, adults, adults, and yeah, it's like a private event, but then we try to make it more bigger with EarthingPH.
So hopefully when this pandemic is over, we can do more. Without the restrictions of mass gathering.
Hi, my name is Donna Marcine and I'm one of the biggest supporters of EarthingPH. I think in the first 2 months in the pandemic, nature was able to rest. There was a drastic change in how we do business, and being in a lockdown for a long time, businesses started to do deliveries and people started to order online. And I think that's a good thing that we're trying to get back in the market. However, we compromised by using disposable packagings like plastic spoon and fork, and also using a lot of plastic to deliver our goods. I've also seen people using disposable facial masks and they're not disposing it properly. And those trash go back to the ocean. Before this pandemic started, we've been in the crisis and we haven't solved that yet. I'm not saying that the pandemic is not as important and not as dangerous. However, people are forgetting that the very reason that we are in this pandemic is because of the environmental crisis. We are facing lack of food. We are facing a lack of water. We don't have clean water, and we're experiencing flash floods and a lot of natural calamities because we haven't been taking good care of nature. Our actions today while fighting this pandemic can also create another pandemic in the future generation. I think the people and those who are running the government should consider that.
Hi guys, my name's Mel Irvine and I'm a freelance writer. I live here in Iloilo City and I've been a long-time supporter of EarthingPH. What I feel about the pandemic and the effect on the environment. So for me, I've mainly seen good things, or I've experienced good things, because it's made us all slow down. We've slowed down in our, frantic consumerism and what we buy. I've heard people, friends of mine that live on Guimaras, have told me about animals that they haven't seen in many, many years that came out during that initial 3 months when everyone was kind of stuck at home. So for me, I've mainly experienced the good because me personally, as I was disconnected from stores and shopping malls and all those things that we do every day, I was more mindful about my spending, and there was things that I just couldn't buy, and I suddenly realized that I didn't need them. So it made me more mindful about what I was using. And I mean, these are things that we should be doing every day, but I probably wasn't doing that as well as I could. So for me, as much as the pandemic has been really challenging in so many areas of our life, it has slowed down consumerism. And then I've also read about different countries, like in India, where there were certain cities in India that saw the Himalayas for the first time in decades because factories weren't operational, and we lost or admittedly so many people lost their jobs, but at the same time there wasn't all this pollution bursting into the air, less cars on the road. And even me near my home, like, sure, we're going out a lot more now, but I've seen birds that I never ever saw before that have come out. So I know there's a lot of negative, but for me, I think the environment has really benefited, and I feel kind of grateful about that.
Hi, my name is Marvin, and I started Climate Strike in Iloilo, but it has been physically impossible to advocate for the environment during lockdowns, which is basically interminable here in this third world mismanaged country. And what I would like for everyone to try is to refrain from supporting trillionaires' businesses and support your local mom and pop shops to help during this pandemic. Mother Earth will thank you for it, and you will reap the benefits in the future.